be saying as we're walking through. I do need to ask about the name Elizabeth, though, and if that is relevant or significant
Very significant.
to the history of this house.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hold that thought, though.
No, not Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
Or I'll take a female with an E name also, but I'm being pulled to the name Elizabeth.
Okay, it's close.
It's close. Yeah, it's close.
Okay. All right.
Close.
So
from what we understand.
All right. Let me get in between the two of you. And
sure.
Do you have is there a place in mind, Tim, that you think?
I'm going to just let you lead. I've been here, but it was to get in between.
Yep, I'm going to get in between you. Right here.
Hannah, I don't have a good side, so it doesn't matter. Oh no, you're just the sound. You're just the sound. You're just the sound. Yeah. Yep. And I need some PVC piping too, so be careful.
Hi folks, William Stillman, Psychic Medium. Today's site location is not Gettysburg, but we're still in Pennsylvania. We're in Dauphin, which is near Harrisburg, and what I know today is that I am at the Peter Allen House. This is by special request of Tim, who is my videographer, and I am joined today by Barbara and Frank, who are the owners of the house. I know nothing about this place, so it's going to be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to our time together. So thank you for having us.
Thank you, Bill.
Actually, are we able to go upstairs?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
Please lead the way, please. Thank you. Are we on, Tim?
Yes.
We're rolling? Okay. So when I first got here, as I was standing out in the parking lot, I got the name Elizabeth, and you initially said, yes, that's relevant, and then so tell me about that. What's the connection to the name?
Well, Elizabeth is not the name, but I thought it was the name.
It's a woman's name.
It's a woman's name,
but
which is close to Elizabeth.
What is the name?
Isabel.
Isabel. Okay, that is fairly close. Okay, so there's the is.
Right, it could be an E, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Because I was getting that feminine energy as we pulled in. I was out in the parking lot, and I'm assuming, given the size of the estate here, that this was a rather wealthy or well-to-do family that originally resided here, correct? And there would have been servant quarters.
Yep.
Also, correct? Okay. Let's head upstairs. I'll let you lead the way, please.
Go ahead, you go.
I'm slow with the knee.
Oh, I have to ask, this mirror has been here for quite some time, is that correct? Have there been people that have made comments about seeing something reflected in this mirror in particular?
Yes.
Because that's what I'm getting. And it's very interesting. I'm wondering also if there would have been a time when the mirror would have been covered or removed.
Well, I know it was
to your knowledge.
It was never removed to my knowledge, but I don't.
Someone tried to remove it.
Someone tried to remove it, and was it at all covered at any time? Do you know? The reason why I'm asking is because, man, this looking glass almost feels like a portal.
Oh wow!
Like there's stuff that comes and goes and is monitoring and observing from the other side of the looking glass. But I wouldn't be surprised if people have complained or made references to seeing someone or multiple people in period costume, in period wardrobe. Do you know anything about this, Frank?
Yeah, sure.
In the glass, correct?
Yeah, they see reflections sometimes beside you when you look in that side. You know,
and there's someone there.
You see
in period dress.
You see that, and to be honest with you, Bill, I never saw it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
people have.
That I wouldn't be surprised about that. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, well, let's make our way upstairs.
Excuse me.
And can you also validate for me that the home was kept within the family for quite some time?
Different. I mean,
Yes.
its home is very old.
At certain points,
And at
yes.
certain points, yes. Many families have been here for an extended period of time.
Going to give them a chance to catch up.
Yeah, here. Take your time.
Where would the master suite be, or the master bedroom?
I don't think there is a master bedroom.
No,
I mean,
there's always been
four bedrooms here.
I mean, we
And then
don't,
there's a bunch back there.
There's got to be like a master suite, though. What's across the way there?
More bedroom, another
there's another
bedroom.
back bedroom
I guess it
and a
could be-
bathroom.
No,
And a bathroom?
yeah.
That's where I think I want to be. Would that be where the master of the house
No,
would have been?
just the opposite.
Just the opposite. That's the servant quarters.
Servants' quarters.
Okay. And what is there? Is that
There's
an
a third
attic?
floor, yeah, third floor, which is basically, a storage unit,
Yeah.
massive storage.
And at one time, this whole house was not, I mean, there were additions put on
Yeah.
back in 17.
Yeah. But please don't
Okay.
volunteer information. But I want to get back to who I thought was Elizabeth, but it's Isabel. And I'm being shown the word depression connected to her. Do you know anything about that?
Not really.
It feels to me as though there was a...
Barbara does.
Well,
What do you know
Depends what-
about that connected to her? And was there a significant loss that impacted her?
you could say so.
That's what I'm feeling connected to her. It almost feels as though, has she been something of a presence here, to your knowledge?
Purportedly.
Reportedly, that's what I needed to hear, yes. Because, as I said, I was in the parking lot, sort of picking up that energy also. And have people reported feeling her or sensing her or seeing her, to your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Not seeing, but definitely
feeling, sensing.
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't.
not seeing, but
So I don't know, again, I don't know anything about the history of the location, but does this serve as a bed and breakfast? Are there people that are able to stay here as guests or as part of a weekend package or something of that nature? So you have people that are able to rent the rooms, so to speak. And I'm also wondering if that is the case, if people have reported having their sleep disturbed.
Well, to clarify, we really don't rent the rooms. We're zoned for a bed and breakfast. But there are people who will report disturbances,
In their sleep.
not necessarily
That's what
in
I'm
their
wondering.
sleep. No, no, Bill.
For
I
example,
don't sense
the
that.
last time that we were in Gettysburg, which was last month, I believe, we were in the Farnsworth house. And I was in a particular room, and I wasn't really getting much. I was about to walk out, and I walked back in, and I said, wait a minute. I feel like I'm a guest lying in the bed here, and it feels like someone sat on my bed in the middle of the night. And I'm getting the same sort of impression here. And so I don't know if there has been anyone that has reported feeling as though there's been someone in bed with them, there's been someone in the room, there's someone sitting in, there's a presence in the room with them.
yes. We don't have many people that actually sleep overnight here. We have many people here, but they don't necessarily sleep here. However, there have been people that have said that they felt a presence or that somebody was sitting. Yes.
Sitting where?
Down.
On the bed? On the mattress?
On a chair or
Okay.
a stool.
In the room with them. Okay, that's what I needed to
I'm
hear.
trying to not tell you, but
Thank you.
yes.
No, you're doing a great job. I don't want to be led with too much information. Now, I also have to ask, it feels to me, in full disclosure, when we came in, there were a lot of men setting up tents outside. So I'm assuming that this is a venue that could be used or leased or rented for parties, weddings, and so on. But I'm also feeling as though there's a long history prior to modern times of people being wed in the house.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that? And does that go back to the original family?
No, doesn't go back to the original.
Doesn't go
family.
back that far. I also have to tell you, and I'm assuming downstairs is a parlor,
Yes.
or an area that would have been the original parlor.
Yes.
I also have to ask if someone laid in state, And if that's possible, I'm actually seeing an open coffin.
Not that.
And do you know anything at all about
not
that?
Not that we're
yeah, not
aware
that we
of.
would know.
Possibly one of the owners
I'm wondering.
could have been laid in
I'm
state
wondering
because
about
of his
that.
position. But that's
Because of his position?
position.
And if that were true, would that have happened here?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm wondering about
Could've.
that. I'm wondering. Yeah.
We're not, the
But that would have been where, yeah.
difficulty in that there aren't any primary sources that can document certain things.
Right.
We know how many owners have been here.
Right.
We know what owner we are, but some of the owners were very prominent people.
Right. I tend to pick up on things that are not obvious, but I tend to pick up on a lot of minutia.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is fascinating because when that's able to be verified, if you look at any of my previous videos.
Yeah, we saw the one on Desperate. That was,
The bed and breakfast.
The bed and breakfast, that was great.
Which one?
Farnsworth.
The Farnsworth?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then people are able to sometimes go back and verify some of those details that seem kind of innocuous, Yes. I also just heard a gunshot ring out, and I'm wondering how that relates to the property.
Don't know. I don't have any feeling on that.
So I don't know
Well-
if there had been,
There could have been a lot of gunshots, I suppose.
if there
at
could
the
have been,
time.
I don't know if anyone that owned the property, I don't know if this is, shooting practice, I don't know if there was a murder or a suicide, or I don't know what the shooting or the sound of the gunshot ringing out would represent. Do you know?
It was a pivotal dwelling during some of the embryonic days of the nation. So there could be gunshots.
And do you know if anyone was killed on the property?
Yes, I mean, we know of at least one person,
Male,
female.
female was killed on the property? Okay.
I don't know if we know that she was on the property or not. But she was killed.
And how did that happen? Was she shot?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
All right. I might be getting some
Right,
cross
cross
wires then
references,
connected to all of that. If you don't mind, just let me poke my head in.
Yeah,
the
sure,
rooms if I can.
yeah.
Thank you.
I mean,
What a beautiful wardrobe. I felt this at the Farnsworth house also. It's kind of interesting, but there must have been a lot of children here at one time.
That's about, yeah.
Because I'm hearing them running up and down the stairs, and I'm seeing things associated with the holidays. And this must have also been the site of a lot of gatherings, a lot of congregations of people coming together at holiday times. It feels that way to me. Any ideas about connection to a male with a W name? As in Wallace, Walter,
Yes.
William? Who would that be?
William.
And who is William connected to the property?
We were told that he was a kind of a caretaker
Of the
at
property.
one time.
Mhm.
Is that what, wouldn't you say?
With respect to the grounds or just maintenance, that sort of thing? Is that to what you are referring?
I don't know. I don't know that we know.
He wears a hat. I've seen him wear a hat. Do you have any photographs of him?
No.
Are there photographs that
No.
exist of him? No?
No.
We're going way back before then. huh?
Way back.
Okay. But it feels as though for him there's a very strong connection here, like a personal and emotional investment in the property. And I don't know if he has also left an imprint on the property or the grounds as well, or if anyone has commented about William.
Yeah, we've had some comments about William and where he was located.
Outside,
back.
but what about outside of the house? Is anyone?
Not outside of the house.
Almost feels as though he was like a, as I said, like a maintenance man or
Could have been.
groundskeeper or something
have
like
been,
that, because
yeah.
I'm seeing tools, a hoe, rakes, pruning shears, things like that.
Could have been.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that. And I'm also wondering if he would have resided on the property in a separate space, and if that's possible. So for example, are there cottages on the property? Are there other quarters on the property that are separate from the main house?
Yes.
And so there's the potential then for those to have served as maybe residences for staff or storing
I think so.
equipment or
Yeah.
so on. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
Okay.
And the fan on, I should take the fan off. If I turn the fan off, does that affect your lighting?
No, that's fine.
I just need to.
Beautiful. Very nice. I have to ask also, and I don't know if it's above me or if I'm on the first floor and I'm hearing it up here, but I'm hearing creaking floorboards and I'm hearing footsteps. And has that been something that people have reported?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
You've had guests tell you that they've heard creaking floorboards above them. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
I keep wanting to come back to Isabel, was it? Okay. And I want to ask more about the word depression as I saw it connected to her. It feels as though there's a loss, there's a loneliness there. I don't know if she would have lost a child, for example, or someone very close to her, or there was some trauma connected to an event that would have affected her. Do you know anything about that or to what that would be referring?
I think we know a lot about that. Again, in hearsay and in rumor. But if we were to say something
Yeah,
to
we can't-
you, we would
yeah.
Well, I'm asking, so you can tell me, you're aware that there was an event or something
Well,
that would have...
She died.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
It's something prior to that would have culminated in this heaviness of this emotion that I'm feeling connected to her.
Well, purportedly, we've heard that she was killed in a buckboard accident on the property.
Or a
carriage, you know.
or a horseback riding accident, yeah.
No, that's not it.
And,
It's something before that. Yeah.
But she was very young when she was killed.
Unless it's
and
just...
allegedly, she's ecstatic now.
Maybe don't say it.
So she would have been a child then, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No.
Teenager.
No.
Teenager.
She was a teenager.
Okay, all right. So maybe the heaviness of the emotion that I'm associating with her is just the feeling of maybe feeling cheated.
Oh, I think so.
Feeling as though...
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling as
because-
though all of my plans have changed without warning, without notice, right? And is she one of the most prominent of the energies of which you're aware associated with this house? Because remember, when I was getting out of my car in the parking lot, that's when I started feeling that energy.
Yeah, I would think
Very
so.
interesting. Now, I want to ask also if you've had guests that have seen her or caught a glimpse of her if the guests are outside in the yard, if anyone has looked up and seen someone looking out of a window.
I'm not sure.
Have you had anything
Not
like that
that-
reported?
Not that,
Also.
no, not that we know.
Okay. All right. This was a complicated family. I have to tell you, the original owners. There's a lot of, it's almost like a soap opera. There's a lot going on behind the scenes with regard to the dynamic within the immediate family and relationships with extended family. And it feels as though neighbors would have been at something of a bit of a distance here. It feels like this property would have been a bit isolated at the time it was constructed. Yeah. But, I keep seeing the word slate. Do you know to what that is referring? As in the stone, slate, or slate as like a blackboard. Anything at all
Not that
come to mind connected to slate, either as I don't know if that would be a stone to be a part of a building material for some reason.
This is
Slate,
Well,
I think about
we
slate
have
roof.
you walked
Slate,
across.
we
You
have-
walked across a slate.
The portico and the
Patio.
patio is
all
all
slate.
slate.
That's all slate.
It is all slate.
Okay. Is there anything else connected to the house that is slate or anything that would have been like a blackboard or something like that? Do you know?
Not that I'm
No.
aware of.
Okay. Let me just keep
Yeah,
poking
let
my
me
head
know so
around
you
here,
can go in
please.
the other rooms.
Thank you. Also have to ask about cupboard doors and bedroom doors being opened and closed. That sort of thing.
Not
Not
really.
that I know.
Not that I'm aware of.
Really? That surprises me. That really surprises me. Like, I'd be willing to bet, for example, if I were staying in this room and I closed the closet door and come back, it would be ajar. Do you know anything about anything at all like that? It just feels as though someone is very particular about who is here, what goes on here, and it's almost like there's a little bit of OCD going on with this energy because it's like, well, everything has to be in its proper place. Everything has to be just so. That's what I'm picking up.
That's interesting. I like that.
It's almost like there's sort of a supervisory type of energy there, monitoring everything, make sure it's done correctly. I do also need to ask about a male name that starts with A, as in Andrew, for example, connected to the property.
Can't think of anybody. Can you?
Andrews, maybe, as a last name.
I'm not sure. Not him.
I like the clouds on the ceiling. Reminds me of the Hershey Theater. All right. I would very much like to see the kitchen area. If I could.
Do you want to see the back area?
Oh, yeah, do you want to go back to
I'm
that?
not feeling
Okay.
that I need to, but thank you.
It is cool.
Oh, boy, it feels good in here.
Let's sit down.
Now, I will also want to ask about the name Jenny.
Can you think of it? I can't think of anyone.
You know, with all the people that own the property,
True, there might
you
have
know,
been. Yeah.
Well, I'm not thinking so much of owners as maybe family members, maybe servants or staff. And I don't know if you would have firsthand knowledge of any of that.
Not really, no.
All right. Are there any articles or books that reference this property that might have some of these answers in them? Gina?
We have books,
We have
pamphlets that
a couple pamphlets
I don't
written. And then there's always some overviews of the different historical entities. The pamphlets are maybe 30 or 40 pages, but I've read them maybe 20 years ago,
Yeah.
25 years ago, so I'm not aware. But I
I
sure as hell will read them again.
Yeah, I don't recall that name now.
I'm also being told to ask about a summer kitchen, and I'm also being told to ask about livestock on the property.
Summer kitchen's right behind you.
Where? Right out this way?
Right
Mhm.
there.
And what about any livestock that would have been kept on the property?
Reportedly,
Yeah.
and, yes.
So I'm smelling manure and hay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait, yeah, definitely. I was thinking of one, yes.
Yes, to which
It's
piece?
a definite, yes. The livestock and manure and hay, yes.
Great, okay. So does that include pigs? Because it feels to me as though,
Definitely.
Yes.
the reason why I'm asking is because it feels as though someone would have actually slaughtered pigs on the property and then they would have been prepared in this area.
Possibly.
Oh, I think it's a very strong possibility because it also feels as though there would have been someone, cooks plural, I'm being told to say, plural, who they would have been knowledgeable about using every possible portion of the animal. Including some kind of jelly. I don't know anything about that, do you?
No.
Some kind of jelly that could be made.
There's a pig's feet jelly.
Is there really?
Oh,
Yes.
interesting. Okay, maybe that's it.
Huh. I didn't know.
Gosh, that would be using every possible part,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yes.
I never had it, but it's a Pennsylvania Dutch thing that
Huh.
pig's feet jelly.
Interesting, okay. The other thing that I'm wondering is if anyone has gone over the property with metal detectors.
Yes.
Because I think there's lots of horseshoes and maybe spoons and maybe pieces of tools or things of that nature, maybe buttons even, metal buttons. Yeah.
We've had quite a few people.
Yeah. some
There's
of them.
almost a native group of men and women who like to do this. In fact, recently, they found a very interesting coin, and I somehow destroyed it by using
He tried
the
to
form.
clean it.
I tried to clean it with a mistake.
Yeah,
It
it was a
dated
big
back to the
mistake.
1760s.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
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 How interesting.
He erased everything.
Oh,
And there's a
no.
lot of,
Yeah.
there were a lot of broken pottery and glassware. A lot of glassware.
This William, I'm being shown the phrase woodshed. So this William, I believe, also may have been responsible for kindling, chopping wood, gathering wood to keep the fires fed with wood. I feel like that's a possibility.
It's a great
Yeah.
possibility.
Yes. So he really was the man in charge of keeping everything running smoothly. There's a well nearby also, correct? Yes. All right. I'm wondering if there's some story connected to the well and one of the children. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody dropping something down the well or holding something or someone over the well.
Sorry for the interruption. Took me a while.
All right. I also want to ask if the family that lived here had political affiliations or political connections,
Yes.
or if anyone who lived here held an office. Is that a yes? Thank you.
Yes.
It feels that the patriarch of the household was rather high profile. And when I came in, obviously, the family who lived here was affluent and well-to-do. And so I feel as though, oh, there's a railroad connection also. Do you know anything about that?
It's a possibility.
If they would have been, is there a street or a line or something named after them? It feels as though they would have been
Yes.
a financier of something connected to the railway.
Well,
Does it make
there is
sense?
a street named after.
There is the street, but I'm
one-
thinking more so of railroad. I'm seeing railroad tracks is what I'm seeing. Do you know anything about that?
No.
So is it also possible that, because I'm seeing men gathering here and having discussions around a table, and I'm wondering also if this would have been a meeting site or a location where there would have been some strategic planning that would have happened here.
Probably, right?
Yeah, I would think definitely.
Yeah.
I need to ask about the male with the A name again. A, I believe I said Andrew. I'll take Arthur. I know it's the Allen house, but I think this is different from that. Yeah.
There's a very prominent A, but not associated with Allen, and it's a last name.
Connected to the house. And what is that place? A male name.
Well, the last name was Ayres, Ayres,
And who is heirs?
the prominent person that you talked about.
But way back, yeah.
Well, way back, both,
Yeah.
both politically
But one
and
of-
strategically.
Yes.
And
One of the
and one of them,
He was one of the owners.
Oh, okay.
At one time, when would that have been?
probably from 1770 to the 1830s.
Yes. Okay. All right. So heirs, the A name, the man, was the one who was was he the politician?
His
Or
son-
had political connections,
his
political
son
affiliations?
became the politician. He was the kingmaker, so to speak.
All right. And again, I need to ask about any connection to the railroad, the beginnings of establishing the railways.
Not
And that
I'm aware of.
family.
I
Not that
suppose
I'm
it's
aware of.
possible. that
I'd be willing to bet there's something there.
It's
We'll
possible.
have to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's about all I'm getting to this space here. Is there anything that you would like to show me?
I'll show you the living room.
Sure.
Which is no longer a living room, but it's, see what kind of feelings you get from the event.
Is it possible for you to turn off the music temporarily?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you. So earlier I had asked about, prior to modern times, there being weddings that were hosted in the house, receptions and so on. Do you know anything at all about a grand ball that may have been held here on the property,
Yes.
going way back. And it feels as though, what's that?
Plural.
Balls, plural. It feels as though there is one that is significant than the others. And I'm wondering also if there are any political affiliations connected to what I'm feeling. Like almost, I don't want to say an inaugural ball, but it sort of has that type of elite status to it, if that would make any sense. What is that? What am I getting? It's one ball in particular that seems to be set apart.
I can only
And
guess.
there's a political connection, it feels like.
I could maybe associate a political connection, but I don't have that with certainty.
But we do know that they did have balls here. That's actually in some of the publications that we have.
I see. But is there anything that, to your knowledge, was a very particular event that would have had some import, either because of for whom it was being thrown or because of who would be in attendance? It feels like it's very significant. Do you know anything about
It's a
that?
possibility. And I can give you conjecture, but I don't have any certainty.
Well, we'll have to
It's a
look into
strong
it then.
possibility.
Thank you. All right. So you wanted me to come into this
Yeah,
room
this is-
to see what we get here.
This was the living room. And, you ready? The ballroom.
Oh, the ballroom.
Well, that's why
Interesting.
I thought, yeah.
You thought what?
I thought maybe that's why you asked about the balls.
Well, it may be, but I certainly
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought this would have been a ballroom. How interesting. The other reason I was asking is because as I was facing the front door, I was seeing people entering dressed in their very finest clothing, the women in particular. I'm hearing violins playing, and I'm also wondering if any member of the family actually played an instrument
Yes.
originally. And would that have been
Oh, originally?
Yeah, would that have been a string instrument? So I don't know what eras we're talking about here, but when we're talking about the balls in the heyday of the estate, I'm hearing violins, so there's live music being played, and what I was wondering was if any member of the family also played an instrument or was known to have played an instrument.
We're not aware of that.
Not that you're aware of.
Again, we can
I mean,
try and
that
do
would be so
research.
hard to find out. I mean, that was so many years ago. That would be really hard to find that out, I would think.
I need to ask if the name Daniel is relevant also. See, I see things that hang in the air and then I trace them. That's what that is. You know? Okay. You know, they spiked punch then too. I'm seeing someone pouring alcohol into the punch.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Something with cranberry. Interesting. Is there anything like that on the property? Anything cranberry on the property? There must have been fruit trees on the property also, because I'm seeing someone is making preserves. So there would have been a fruit cellar here also. You're aware of that?
Could be in the back.
I believe
in the small one?
Yeah. And do you know if there is, do you know what a sampler is? Something that young girls would have stitched. It would have been the alphabet or maybe a short poem. Is there anything at all like that connected to the house that is still here or that still has survived? Do you know?
If there is, we don't have it.
I think that's about all I'm getting connected to this space. All right. Anything else?
Oh, I'm thinking.
And that's a real possibility.
Oh, it is. I don't know if it was colder outside or inside.
I thought it was supposed to warm up. Structures beyond here then are original to the property as well? All right. So when I was asking about, for example, if William was indeed the groundskeeper, then he would have had quarters separate from the family house, and it's possible that he was living on the property here.
No question. No question.
Well, or he was in the back room, back here.
Oh, it's nice.
Whoa!
Is that Ryan's maybe?
No, it's mine. That over there. It's called.
Yeah, back
Hey
in
Tim.
the
Hi Tim. This is another miracle.
Yeah, can you identify it?
Can identify.
Has
Goodness.
a 10 on
The
it.
servants.
I've never seen anyone pick up a $10 bill off the ground.
The servants' room was where you didn't go, back where the
Ah.
in the back.
And is that
That's where he
that's
would've-
behind the kitchen? Is that behind the kitchen area
Yeah, there
where the
is.
servants were
Yeah,
staying?
there's a back
Yeah,
staircase.
right there, the
yeah,
whole
there's a back
back
staircase.
So remember I asked about the name Jenny?
Yeah, she might have been there.
I'm wondering. Yeah. Okay. Was there someplace in particular you wanted to take me out here?
Yeah, I'll show you these. There's 3 outbuildings that are kind
All
of
right.
interesting that you might feel something. Your well and spring house is right down there.
The well.
And spring house.
So where do you live?
I live just north of Hershey.
The Palmyra?
It's
Oh,
technically
there-
Hummelstown,
Oh, okay.
but it's not in Hummelstown proper. It's
Okay.
it's in a development called Willow Creek Farms. I don't know
Okay.
if you're familiar with it.
This should be a little warmer in here.
Would there have been a family that was actually raised in this building?
No,
Are you sure?
positive. Well,
Why am I feeling a lot of children connected to here?
Probably not. I don't know. Maybe they. There could be.
could have
children.
been a couple hundred years ago, I suppose.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. At the time of the property originally.
Not probable, though. You think?
You know, every time we are outside, I hear and see a lot of dogs as well connected to the property.
Yes.
That's interesting. So again, there's a lot of wealth associated with the family. And I'm wondering if there would have been someone on staff who in addition to slaughtering the pigs, would have also been responsible for maybe bringing in deer and venison or pheasant or other animals that are in the wild that could be consumed. Do you know anything about
I
that?
don't know any
Because I just got
details,
a
yeah.
flash of that. Yeah.
Certainly a possibility,
Yeah.
yeah.
But nothing connected here to kids coming in and out, children coming in and out. You know?
That's a possibility.
Okay, that's, sure. Not living in here, though.
Spending a lot of time in here for some reason.
That could be.
Now, where were the animals located on the property?
Which animals? The pigs?
There were
The
pigs.
pigs were not here. The
Oh,
pigs
well,
were
there's
not
a
in
pig
here.
right there.
The pig-
There were pigs,
yeah.
there were horses,
Okay,
and cows.
okay. Horses.
Horses are here, where we're standing. In this, oh, so,
See this-
did any of the children ride?
Yes.
Sure.
Well, then they would have been in and
Yeah.
out of here
Yeah.
quite a bit. Okay, that's what I needed to know. All righty. I also need to ask about the Carriage House. Do you know anything about that? And where is that?
It's another building, the next building.
The other building. Okay, so again,
You
this
can't get into that one.
this
Yes, you can.
this
Oh.
William,
Yeah, you can get into it.
I believe, would have had oversight around the upkeep and maintenance of any of the carriages that would have been used for transportation. Would the patriarch of the family and other men associated with the property have had, remember I was feeling there was political affiliations and associations there, would they have had occasion to take a carriage into Harrisburg?
Oh, I would think
Sure,
so.
yeah, definitely.
For meetings or gatherings, things of that nature that would maybe be more business or political in nature. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. Very much so.
All right. It's so interesting because one of the first things that I said when we were upstairs was, feels like there's like a long kind of soap opera history with a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes, maybe things that weren't reported. And I'm wondering also if this was the barn. This was a barn. I'm wondering if there wasn't a rendezvous that happened here, or a secret or clandestine tryst of some sort, or something that went on away from the prying eyes of the main house. It's kind of interesting. Almost like there may have been an affair. I don't know if this was between...
That might have been even not hundreds of years ago.
No, it's possible. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Right,
But it
that's
would
right.
have been at the time when this was still being
barn.
used as a barn.
Yeah, that's possible.
That I'm going to stand by.
Very strongly.
Yeah. So I don't know if this was among staff members. I don't know if this was somebody had a mistress. I don't know what. You know.
That's certainly possible.
Yeah. I mean, all the things that people do today was still
Sure.
was happening then too. It
Right.
just
Sure.
wasn't,
Yeah.
publicized. Is there anything else you'd like to show me in here?
No, not really.
All right.
No. Mm-mm. Just wanted
It
to-
feels very pleasant. It feels very comfortable.
I'll show you the carriage house.
Oh, yeah.
The
Let's
other
see the
one.
carriage house. Thank you. In that structure, in that building.
These is this is what separated the stalls. This iron.
The on grade shape.
Yeah. So it was just happy times in the barn. Okay.
Yeah, but maybe amorous times
Yeah.
too. We don't know. This would have been the carriage house then. That I was-
out the one car just now.
Yeah.
Just to give
So-
some space.
In the same way that people maintain and upkeep their cars and change the oil and so on, the same thing would have happened with the carriages.
Sure.
They would have axle grease. I'm smelling.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
It would have come in large tins, I believe. They're round tins, and we'll have to look into this to see if that is in fact what I'm picking up on. But there were various brands of axle grease to rub into the joints of the carriage and the wheels to keep everything running smoothly. Very interesting. You may not be able to answer this, but I'm also wondering if anyone on site, if anyone on staff would have done any leather work or leather tooling or anything, again, in keeping with the upkeep and maintenance of the carriages or the reins or anything connected to the horses.
Yeah, I think it's a
I
possibility.
mean, it's certainly a possibility, yeah.
Okay. I'm so fascinated to learn more about William because it feels as though he just was so loyal and devoted and again had a personal and emotional investment in the property.
There were two Williams. Two Williams. And one had definitely the emotional connection to the property. And the other was, I believe, the manservant that you're making reference to.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the person who was the staff person also had the emotional investment,
Sure.
the personal investment in the property.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have the key for the...
Yeah, I got the key for the cottage. Let me show you the cottage.
I'm hearing running water. Is there a stream near here? Also, how far away is it?
Right here.
Right.
Right past the tents on the other side.
There's actually a stream on the property?
Stream, and it's
Oh my goodness.
cascades down.
Yeah, there's a little...
Oh my goodness.
little stone-
Cascades
little
down
stone-
Oh, how
to those
interesting.
ponds,
Yeah.
and then cascades all the way out.
Yeah, there's, on the other side of the tent, there are these little stone bridges and the water.
Oh my goodness, I
runs
didn't
through
think it
there.
would be that close by.
Well, on the mountain, the water is always coming off the mountain. Everything looks like that. Are you asking us?
I'm
Do you wanna-
asking, yeah. What would this
The
space
pigs?
have been used for? This was where the pigs were kept?
Pigs, or
Chicken
people
coop.
also said it was chicken coop.
Chicken
At various
coop.
times, it was, different chicken
things.
coops. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously didn't look like this.
Right. Yes, of course, it would make sense that they had chickens also, of course. In fact, someone's cracking eggs to make a birthday cake. And I'm wondering if there was a prominent birthday around this time of year connected to the family. We're still in March. I'm wondering about that.
I'll have to check.
It's-
I mean, there's a
yeah.
lot.
I mean,
You've
there's a
given us
lot we'll have to- yeah,
You've
there's a
given us a
lot
lot
we'll
of food
check,
for
yeah.
thought.
Yes. All right. All right, not getting anything else connected here.
Okay.
Thank you. ask about a sleigh also. Do you know anything about the family having a sleigh? That would have been horse-drawn.
Well, I think I've seen references to it. Yeah. But then again, I thought maybe you saw the one over there that's our sleigh.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be, much bigger than that.
Yeah. They got the canopies up.
Do you also know anything about anyone in the original family, any of the children becoming very seriously ill? With a child, with what maybe a childhood disease. Very seriously ill.
That's something.
Almost to the point of,
You'll have to read up on.
I don't know if a child passed, if you know anything about that. And if not, it was darn close. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
That's hard because the original family is so far back.
Right.
The records would be really hard to. We need to do a little bit more research.
Yeah. But,
It would be interesting to see what you could get or corroborate.
Yeah, I mean, the records that we have would not document something like that.
But if you did little vignettes of the owners, you might be able to find that out.
Yeah.
Oh, here's your stream too, right?
Oh yeah, look at that. So when I said I was hearing running water, I wasn't hearing that stream. I was hearing it in my head. How interesting. It's right there on the property. Well, I want to thank you for your time and for
Bill, thank you.
having us out here. It's been very interesting. It's a gorgeous property.
So what do you know about us?
So now,
Nothing.
is there a second part? Because I thought when we watched the Farnsworth one, that some of his observations were corroborated. All right, so there.
Or if you want to wait until you're able to watch the rough cut and maybe have some time to digest it and process it, and then maybe things that come to you, or maybe things.
Yeah, or a combination of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me try and elaborate a little on what I heard and what we heard. You had the sense of William. It was a prominent sense. I don't know if he was the second owner or third owner, was William Ayres, Ayres, who was a very, very prominent character in the pre-revolutionary period and during the revolutionary period. He became a patriot and fought for independence. Right? He then later became one of the original founding fathers of the first bank of the United States, so it was finance rather than railroads. But maybe he dabbled in railroads later. I'm not privy to that. It was William Ayres' son, John Ayres, who became the state senator representing this district.
That's the political
That's
affiliation.
that's the political affiliation that you alluded to. Who's to suggest that maybe at his swearing in, they didn't come back into the big ballroom and things, something of that nature?
Inaugural ball.
Right, his own.
Right.
His own.
I'd be willing to
He
bet.
was made a state senator.
Very
Very prominent, close friend of Thaddeus Stevens, the abolitionist out of Lancaster County. And I can tell you endless stories about John Ayres, but we don't have the time, nor do you have the interest. The other William that I associated with immediately,
The groundskeeper.
the groundskeeper, was prominent purportedly, here, follow me and I'll show you where he is, or where he was. Go ahead. This is where the stagecoach stopped to go up over the mountain. And William, the caretaker, would greet people here purportedly and tell them, wipe your boots. And right outside that door are the boots things where you wipe your boots. So he was very conscious of that. So that's the second William, and that's about all I know from him. But the founding patriarch was William, and the fellow who was conscious of that was William. I think I need for you then to show me some of the other video, and then we'll be able to comment from that, because you were right on in a number of areas. When you, yeah, why don't we do that? If that doesn't.
I love that there's the possibility that there was some sort of celebratory wall here connected to the political position. Inaugural ball, I think was the phrase I saw.
Even John, even way back,
Indians.
there were Indian dances with the locals here, and that is documented in some of the publications. So they wined and dined and danced in this room, and they made this room larger because it was too small. And if you notice the two fireplaces, there was a wall. This was the doorway right here.
That would make
And
sense.
to accommodate the ballroom, they made this. In our day and age, we don't think this is much of a ballroom.
Yeah, but back then it was
in the
large.
1800s, early 1800s, this was quite a large room for frivolity and whatever you have, dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd look forward to what you guys piece together, and I think we can comment on some of it if you want the comments.
Oh, yes.
And you said
And
so
Isabel,
much. You
too.
said so much. Yeah, that just sparked so much interest that we need to go back and do our homework too.
Yes, we'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah.
Well, so if you watch the other videos that we've done previously, then you'll see that there are cards that get inserted after the fact.
Right.
Once information's able to be
that's right.
verified,
Okay.
and then
Sure,
Um,
sure.
and then also people who watch them comment
That's right.
as well, and they're verifying things. Like one of the, I was just telling Tim in the parking lot, well, I forget where it was, where I was picking up the name Ambrose Bierce or Pierce or something like that, and someone in the comments said,
Oh, no, a
Really?
relative, distant relative or something?
no, Ambrose Bierce was an author who wrote stories about the Civil War and
Oh.
is known for an incident at Owl Creek, which is apparently a very well-known story. So
Well, yeah,
just never know what you're going to pick up.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yes.
thank you again.
Well, you're very sweet to have us interrupt your day and your
No.
schedule.
Oh my God, it was very
Appreciate
exciting.
it very much.
Very exciting for us.
It's a beautiful property. You should feel very pleased and proud
We are.
Thank you.
of what that you have done with it.
We are. Thank you.
So thank you for having us.
Oh, no, thank you for coming.